hopefully this is some examples of that. So I'm sure we can answer questions if there are questions or issues that you'd like to have some discussion about.
Could both of you take one of your pieces and talk to us about how you see those two pieces, you know, what the similarities are, what it is between the two of you that is in common? Am I making sense? What was it within the work that you have here that brought you together? But you explain that to us.
Well, maybe to talk a little bit related to that, about the actual process of making, because I think that reveals some of that.
Sure. Why don't we do video in these? I mean, one way is to compare both in the way it looks, the way it's made, how it's read. These 4 pictures here and Colby's videos that are being projected. I designed some of these pictures to look and feel like a flat monitor or some projected new technology, yet blurry, so they came from a memory or a history or a Super 8, and which in fact some of this does. Also, you know, talking about the ritual that both of us feel, maybe in the landscape. These are hunting movies that have a very ritualistic and symbolic feel about some animal, killing an animal, and you know, some death, I guess. And part of the ritual of baptism, which the watering pictures come from, is this symbolic play of death and rebirth. And so I think that way the landscape, ritual, and the materiality of both some kind of older memory and perhaps a new technology of a flat screen it is something that I saw as we started to put these things together. So even in the installation, as we were thinking about things, mirroring the way they're presented in the shape, that's something that came together nicely. So.
Yeah, I would kind of echo some of what Elijah said, the ritual aspect of the kind of, again, the narrative or more story that you may derive, the representational elements of the work. I think the ritual aspect and a connection of people in the landscape and the connection to the land, and the land having some sort of part in that ritual. The water here, for me, it's the dragging of the carcass through the forest bed, through the forest, and through the trees, and bringing it to the light. The seminal thing in this particular video piece that started it all was this section of these 8mm films that my grandfather shot in hunting camp from 1961. And as a kid, my grandfather was smart enough to because I'm old enough to watch Super 8 films at Christmas and Thanksgiving. We didn't have video, we didn't have digital. We would watch Super 8 films, and those of you that experience this kind of thing, you know that you don't fast forward, and you don't skip to the next chapter. My grandfather edited his hunting films at the beginning and our trip to Disney World at the end. And so if we wanted to see Disney World, we sat through 25 minutes of hunting camp. And we did this as another ritual. We did this as all families do at certain times at holidays, where we would get together and pull out slides, project, and films to watch. And this image is kind of an indelible image stuck in my mind as a child, and maybe for obvious reasons. It was something that never kind of haunted me and never left. So he was this idea of bringing this ram's head from the darkness to the light. Was something that I felt as just a thematic idea, really connected with Elijah's watering images of folks trying to wash off the darkness and become light through the forgiveness. And maybe in some ways, the forgiveness aspect is something that I also connected with as the other thing that kind of mesmerized me about these particular video pieces was the fact that they're silent. And there's several moments where the figures are just talking to you. It's actually to the camera person, but it seems to talk to you, and they're talking silently, and they're mouthing, and some of it looks like joking and laughing, but there's also just moments where my grandfather's talking directly. And to me, that's him communicating something, whether he's asking for forgiveness of this, or whether he's proud and boasting. I don't know, and that's left up to what have you. But it's that kind of idea of those kind of metaphors that I felt like really resonated between Elijah and I without our work looking alike. They resonated through a kind of a deeper understanding of it. And there are moments where our work has some formal elements that connect. And I think a lot of it has to do with us trying to figure out ways to present photographs without the usual glass mat and that kind of presentation where everything is just so. And that's something that we've discussed as colleagues and as peers, but also something we investigated as working practitioners. And I think the physicality of our work, the fact that it tries to have a dialogue with painting in a way, is something that connects our work as well. I don't know if that answers.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Good job.